Disillusioned and disappointed by the government's cold and lackluster response to their continuing pleas and petitions, the relatives of missing persons in Indian-controlled Kashmir are now demanding that a United Nations monitoring group be set up to record and register the gross human rights abuses in the disputed Himalayan region. The members of the Association of Parents of Disappeared Persons have been demanding the whereabouts of their missing relatives who have been subjected to enforced custodial disappearance, allegedly by Indian forces during the past 2 decades of conflict. Human rights groups claim that around 8,000 people have been subjected to enforced disappearance by Indian forces in this Muslim-majority region. They believe that many of the disappeared persons may have been buried in the unmarked graves. On May 6, during a debate in the European Parliament on the human rights policy, a member of the European Parliament, Sajjad Haider Karim, accused the European Union of double standards over the issue of mass graves in Kashmir. Stating that the discovery of mass graves has put India under great pressure, Karim called for an investigation on this issue in Kashmir. According to the International People's Tribunal on Human Rights and Justice in Kashmir, there are more than 7,000 unmarked graves dotting the lush green landscape of this beautiful valley.
We have more than 9,500 people who are missing over the last 16 years. We have more than 5,000 unmarked graves. So we believe that there is no accountability. The government of India, and Indian political parties, I am sorry to say, for their own political interests, and they are trying to depict Kashmir only in the context of Pakistan, and they are trying to give a picture to the world that whatever is happening in Kashmir is because of Pakistan. And while the fact remains that what's happening on the ground, what the police is doing, what the paramilitary forces are doing, what the army is doing, is not being told to the world.
A human rights organization, Voices of Victims, has discovered more than 60 unidentified mass graves in central Kashmir's Budgam and Srinagar districts alone. Even as authorities claim that the graves carry bodies of foreign militants killed in counterinsurgency operations, the relatives of missing persons have reiterated their demand for immediate DNA profiling to identify bodies discovered in these mass graves. International rights watchdog bodies, namely United Nations Human Rights Council and Amnesty International, have repeatedly criticized India for its poor human rights record in this region. Political observers believe the excessive powers given to soldiers under draconian laws like Armed Force Special Powers Act are the cause of the human rights abuses happening with a sense of impunity. According to human rights groups, more than 70,000 people have lost their lives in conflict in Kashmir since late 1980s. The distraught relatives of missing persons in Kashmir have appealed to the UN to set up a monitoring group in the region. The move, observers believe, can go a long way in addressing the issue of grave human rights abuses in the region and could be a positive step in keeping unruly soldiers under control. Said Ali Safwi, Press TV, Indian-controlled Kashmir.